Back in the upstate, Greenville's police chief is making changes to how his officers use force in the field. A brand new policy is now on the books, aiming to preserve the sanctity of life and reduce the number of incidents across the department. Our Addie Hampton sat down with the chief to break down these changes.
In the heat of the moment, a police officer must often make life or death decisions. But in the wake of a national outcry over acts of police brutality, Police Chief Ken Miller is putting out a more tempered message.
It is not the police department's will, it's not our mission, it's not our pleasure to take life from anyone.
And he spells it out in a brand new use of force policy aiming to preserve the sanctity of life.
What we set out to do was really to make the policy much more clear and much more straightforward.
In 18 pages, the policy takes a defined approach to escalating situations called the force continuum.
So you'll see the emphasis on de-escalation, trying to create time and distance which creates a measure of safety for our employees and for the person that they're engaging.
The stair-step method only allows lethal force in the most life-threatening of circumstances, and only then after all other methods have been tried.
Lethal force is only justifiable when an officer is facing a deadly threat. I mean, period.
Miller points to a 2013 incident at a Greenville motel. A Greenville drug cop fired into a moving vehicle that he claimed was driving toward him. The officer wasn't charged, claiming he feared for his life, but was later fired for defying department standards.
By the time he drew and discharged his firearm, it was no longer a lethal threat, or at least in 2 of the 3 shots that were discharged, if not all 3. When it doesn't pass the policy provisions, we have to act on that.
The new policy is much more transparent, according to Miller, cutting through the gray area as much as possible. Still, he says they have to have the cooperation of the public.
We want to respect and value life. We need that same respect for us as well.
In Greenville, Addie Hampton, 7 News.
Miller says they want the public to hold them accountable, but he adds it is best to comply to the officer's authority in the middle of any kind of situation and ask questions later to avoid unnecessary conflict.